The G7 has urged for the expansion, complete implementation and extension of the grain deal in the Black Sea region. In a joint statement, the agriculture ministers of the G7 nations urged for an extension, complete implementation and the broadening of the important agreement that permits the export of Ukrainian grain via the Black Sea. The statement was released on Sunday, April 23rd. Officials selected by Moscow in southeastern Ukraine have refuted any claims of Kyiv's forces establishing a consequential presence in the region ahead of an anticipated counterattack. Meanwhile, Russia subjected towns along the front line to bombardment and once again intimidated the blocking of Ukrainian grain exports to global markets. According to the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, in Washington, recent posts by Russian military bloggers, who are closely associated with Moscow's armed forces, have provided substantial visual and written evidence that Ukrainian forces have established positions on the eastern bank of the Dnipro River in Kherson region. The posts, which include geolocated footage and textual reports, leave no doubt about the veracity of the claim. The Kremlin's appointed leader of the occupied eastern side of the river, Vladimir Saldo, refuted the claim. It's worth noting that Ukraine successfully freed the western bank in the latter part of the previous year. On Sunday, an official proclamation was made declaring that the left bank of the Dnipro now stands free of any enemy bridgeheads. Our military has complete territorial control, the statement read. The effective date of the declaration is April 23rd. According to him, it is possible that enemy sabotage groups may land on the left bank and take a picture before being struck down by our weapons or thrown into the water by our fighters. While Natalia Humeniuk, a Ukrainian military spokesperson, refrained from verifying any territorial gains made by Kyiv's troops in Kherson region, she did urge caution and forbearance ahead of a possibly brutal upcoming counteroffensive. The speaker expressed the arduousness of surmounting a broad, significant river like the Dnipro when it constitutes the front line. She emphasized that this challenge requires patience from even the most exceptional students of the Institute for the Study of War. The speaker stated that the populace eagerly anticipates positive developments, and they will eventually receive them. However, the news ought to benefit as many of our military personnel as possible. According to Ukrainian officials, an artillery strike by Moscow's military caused injuries to 2 individuals in a Kherson region village under Kyiv's control. The strike was followed by 4 Russian warplanes dropping 5 bombs on the area. The attack was described as massive in scale. Reports emerged of rocket attacks on Slovyansk, a town in the eastern Donetsk region, and neighboring Kharkiv province by Russia. Ukraine confirmed the attacks, but Moscow alleged that it had targeted a drone repair factory. However, claims from both parties could not be independently verified. On Saturday, nearly 3,000 residents of Belgorod, located 35 kilometers from Kharkiv, returned home following an evacuation triggered by the discovery of a bomb. Days prior, a Moscow warplane dropped at least 1 explosive device in the same area, causing injury to 3 individuals and significant harm to local homes and vehicles. The G7 coalition of powerful countries has urged an extension of the agreement to assist the transportation of Ukraine's grain from its Black Sea ports. This comes amid renewed threats from a high-ranking Russian official to terminate a pact established last July with the help of Turkey and the United Nations. G7 agriculture ministers expressed their grave apprehension about the critical toll that the ongoing war is taking on global food security. This statement was made by them on Sunday. They expressed their firm endorsement for the deal's extension, complete execution, and broadening in this context. Dmitry Medvedev, the current deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council and a former president, cautioned against G7 leaders' proposal to restrict exports to his country, referring to them as idiots. He warned that such a move could result in a corresponding ban on imports from Russia, specifically in categories of goods that are most significant to the G7. He stated that if such a scenario arises, they would be deprived of the grain deal and other essential commodities they require.